live, people. We're live. Welcome to another In Motion Football live stream. My name is Alam, and today I'm joining you at halftime. Couldn't make it for the entire game today. Still wanted to hop on because there's a lot to talk about. We will have our typical playoff prediction machine live stream thing to do. We'll have a second half of football to watch that seems pretty interesting because the Chiefs are down and obviously a lot of football to talk about today. Before I get started, make sure if you're watching this live or watching it on replay that you're hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel. Two important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel. And with that out the way, I'll share my screen and get things started. I don't know exactly what you guys want to start with today. I guess before we get into the playoff machine, I can just talk about like the day that happened. So obviously, me being an Eagles fan, that's a game that we'll have to talk about. But before I get into that, other things that happened. Broncos Texans, pretty captivating game. Good finish, bit of a back and forth affair. I feel terrible for Tank Dell. I feel so bad for that guy that his season has to end like that. That is so unfortunate. And if you're a Houston Texans fan as well, it's more than just a one game thing. You won the game, and that's fine, but you don't have your most dynamic weapon for the rest of the season. And were the Texans going to win a Super Bowl this year? No. In the grand scheme of things, he's a young guy. He'll get healthy, and again, a Super Bowl charge didn't get sidetracked because of that injury, but it's just a tough thing to see. I would have loved to see what the Texans can do full strength in the playoffs as, a plucky underdog with nothing to lose, but that got severely compromised today with the Tank Dell injury. So that sucks to see. Patriots, Chargers, 6-0 affair. That Patriots team is diabolically bad. Like next level bad. Not too much else to say about that. Lions, Saints. This one was interesting. The Saints had a chance to win the game towards the end of it. But the thing is like the fact that it was even close, that's enough of a thing to be concerned about for the Lions. You were up 21-0 in the first 7 minutes of the game. The Saints got back. I think the closest they got was the 5-point game that eventually occurred at the end. But the Saints had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to tie it up. They mounted parts of their comebacks with Jameis Winston playing as Derek Carr got knocked out the game. So it was not good. Good things did not happen. The story about the Lions defense is this, right? The Lions defense was pretty trash last year. They added some pieces. They added some pieces to get better. A lot of their pieces are out for the year. CJGJ out for the year, I think. What's his name? Sutton, I think, the outside corner they added, he's out for the year. So a lot of your pieces that you added to get better as a defense, Detroit doesn't have anymore. So it's kind of same old for that defense. They're what they were last year when they were a struggling unit. I think they were the worst pass defense in football. So that's the main concern with Detroit, is that your defense has regressed into that, more or less what they were last year. And again, like the Saints mounted a part of their comeback with Jameis playing. It was an ugly day for the Lions defense. The Lions offense, obviously, playing in a tough stadium to play in, playing against a competent defensive unit, nothing special, but the Saints are obviously like not a pushover. Not good to like Lions offense. You can be happy with the results. They put up a lot of points. They moved the ball pretty well, but yeah, the Lions defense, that's the concern there. Cardinals, if you watched the stream last week, that's the upset us on the panel called for. We looked at the fact that you can just count on Pittsburgh letting you down as home favorites. And they did it again. This time, obviously, Kenny Pickett knocked out of the game. That's a big part of what happened. But all things considered, this is just what's possible when your offense is that terrible and your defense has a clear strength, but also a clear weakness. The Cardinals did their thing. You're starting to see that the Cardinals, I think they're missing the top end talent as far as skill positions go, but they have something. I see that my screen is frozen on the stream. That'll clear up probably at some point soon. But yeah, you can see that basically if you were to add a wide receiver one to the Cardinals receiving core, they actually have the rest of the receiving core in place. They're just missing like the number one guy. Then if you look at their running back room, right? They got pieces. They're probably missing like that number one guy, like your main bell cow back, but they got the rest of the guys. They have a power runner with James Conner. They got a smaller running backs that can make plays. They got Michael Carter from the Jets. Like, they're basically missing a wide receiver one and an RB1, but the rest of their skill position room is actually pretty decent. And we saw that today. Falcons, Jets. As I've mentioned earlier, I think when I talked about the Patriots, hilariously bad offense combined with a pretty good defense. And that's just what the New York Jets are. I didn't watch much of this game because, again, why would I? But Trevor Siemian versus Desmond Ridder, that is talk about terrible, like, quarterback play. That's what you got in New York. Again, if you watch that game, I feel really bad for you. That should not have happened. But yeah, I think my thought about this game was just that the skill position players on the field today were going to determine which side the game went to, and Bijan and the boys got the job done more than Brees Hall and the boys. But I hope the people watching this didn't watch any of this game. Colts Titans. Okay, I kind of caught this game here and there. This game was crazy considering that the Titans had 2 punts blocked in a row. Their punter got knocked out of the game on the second one. The first one got returned for a touchdown, and then they went for 2 to try to go up 7, and they got a pick 6, but it's on a 2-point conversion, so it's technically a pick 2. They got a pick 2 on the 2-point conversion, and mind you, this game went to overtime, so that kind of a swing on the 2-point conversion was actually a huge play. This game ends in regulation, and the Colts win it without having to kick the field goal in overtime had they not thrown a pick 2 on a 2-point conversion. So this game was crazy. I think the Titans' offense functioned at a much higher level than I expected them to. I understand the Colts' defense isn't anything special, but Derrick Henry got 100 on the ground. Tajay Spears got 70 plus on the ground. Nuke did his thing, 75 and a touchdown. But man, there's just something about the Colts with Shane Steichen. They're a team that just gets it done offensively. They go up and down the field. They got down the field, obviously, without Jonathan Taylor today, just with Zach Moss. But yeah, they managed tough divisional game, and they got the W. 7-5 now in the thick of things in the playoff race. Interesting game, though. It was, again, a pick 2, people. How often do you see that? And how often do you see it being actually a pivotal part of the game? But that's what happened. Then you got Dolphins Commanders. Not much to report on there. Dolphins beat that ass. Yeah, Commanders. Oh, okay, what I will say is, though, after you saw what A.J. Brown did to the Commanders at some point earlier this year, right? You saw what DJ Moore did to the Commanders, right? I would have thought that, like, when they saw Tyreek Hill coming to town, they would at least adjust a little bit or try something new or just at least be cautious, right? But they defended Tyreek Hill the same way they've defended everybody else in the NFL. And he was like, the 2 plays he got touchdowns on, that shit looked easy. I think a 70-yard touchdown and a 50-yard touchdown. Boy, I don't know. I guess I don't think Del Rio's there anymore. He got fired, but some of the same bullshit happened for them defensively. So rough day for the Commanders. Oh boy, it's getting late. Panthers Bucks. Okay, so with the Panthers Bucks, I thought that there's an outside chance that the Panthers get the win here. Now, they had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to win the game, and they just couldn't get it done. But first game after the Frank Reich firing, as we've seen with Rich Bisaccia, Antonio Pierce, and even Jeff Saturday for one game, there is a boost that can be gotten from firing a coach midseason. And I figured in a divisional game having just fired their coach, Carolina could give you something, and they kind of did. They just couldn't get over the edge. Mike Evans got 1,000 yards. He's got 1,000 yards in all 10 years of his career. That guy's a special guy. That's a ridiculous achievement. He's done it with some shaky quarterbacks. Now you add Baker to the list of guys. Mike Evans, very much inevitable. And then we got Browns, Rams. It's a month away from 2024, and Joe Flacco played a football game. And actually, like, the thing about Flacco is obviously he's not going to be a playmaker that really like makes things happen or anything, but he's going to run the offense. And at parts of the game, it looked like that might be all they need. But man, the Rams did numbers. You're starting to see with the Browns defense now, as good as they are and as good as some of the performances they've had have been, they've given up their fair share of points, right? 36 to the Rams, 29 to the Broncos. Obviously 30 to the Ravens, but that's the Ravens. Then where's the other one I'm looking for? 38 to the Colts. This is a defense that can be scored on, and that's what happened. And having got through all those games, that leaves me with finally Eagles-Niners. For those of you who might be new to the channel, I am an Eagles fan, so this is not a fun stream to step into, but I can't duck, can't hide. That's not who I am. So about that game, the thing is, if you were here last week, and I was here after the Bills game, I talked about how, look, I think this Niners game, it's a real tough spot for us. Why? Because we played a bunch of football against the Bills. Reed Blankenship played 115 snaps. Defense and special teams, he played 115 snaps against Buffalo. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, they played in the 70s. As far as snaps go, they average typically in the 30s. The Eagles defense played 2 football games worth of football against Buffalo based on the way that game went. And you guys heard me on this channel last week say that kind of scares me against a San Francisco team that has extra rest. Now, is that the reason what happened today happened? Of course not. But that is a contributing factor to why it was so ugly, which is the main thing that I'm upset about. Again, like the loss, whatever. The loss itself, I actually don't have that big of a issue with. A loss was always coming considering how we're playing. In a lot of ways, you could say a loss is needed to kind of prompt them to realize how much better they need to play, because they haven't played that well over the last little bit. A loss was needed. A loss was coming. But it shouldn't have been like this. It should not have been like that. You're not supposed to get done like that at home. 6 straight drives, your defense gave up a touchdown. It was an unacceptable level of bad. And the stage is set now for next week against Dallas. The Eagles, like, basically since they've had Sirianni and Hurts, since the 2-5 start, I don't think they've lost back-to-back games. So running on about 2 years now. So back half of Sirianni's first year, last year, and now the first half of this year have not lost 2 games in a row. Again, with Hurts and Sirianni. I don't expect them to lose next week against Dallas, but by no means will that be an easy win. And I will be doing a live stream during that game next week, so tune in for that. But boy, Cowboys-Eagles next week is going to be stressful. The stakes are going to be high. For what it's worth, I think the Eagles are in a position to win a lot of games going forward. Like, again, the loss itself is not the expected, or I feel good about it all. I think there. So I don't know. People watching this right now, if you guys couldn't hear me or I got cut off, let me know when I got cut off. But yeah, that's that game. That's that. So I got through all the games. Shout out to Daniel. 4 more wins. 100% for people who don't know what he's talking about. Daniel predicted 11 wins for the Colts. But yeah, that was a weird freeze. Daniel predicted 11 wins for the Colts before the year. A lot of us thought it was ridiculous. It's very much within reach now. They have 7 wins. Let me look at the rest of their schedule. Bengals winnable, Steelers winnable, Falcons, Raiders, Texans. Yeah, I mean they're like worst case scenario they probably win 10. Like that's the worst case scenario at this point, but Colts are in a good spot. All right, with that being said, we can get to the part that I've been excited about cuz we've been doing this all year. For those of you guys who weren't here earlier, during the week 1 Sunday night football game, Giants Cowboys, during that game, because it was a 40-0 blowout that wasn't worth watching, we predicted the whole season from week 1 onwards, and that's something that we've done every now and then. So, like I said, everybody watching this live, feel free as I'm doing this to kind of drop what you think is going to happen in the chat, because a lot of these games that I'm going to pick, considering that I'm picking 5 weeks worth of games, like I don't feel all that strong about all of them. There's going to be some games where I feel like very strongly, oh, I think this team is going to win. But, on the ones that I'm not that strong about, we can do this together as a community, as a family. So, yeah, be sure to be active in the chat if you have any thoughts on what's going on. About these games, honestly, tomorrow, the Jags are beating Browning. Based on how this game is going, honestly, may as well give it to the Packers. Look at the theme this week. I lied. It's 2 games. But the Niners with the mini bye after playing on Thanksgiving look pretty good. The Packers off the mini bye look pretty good. Washington, obviously not. Lions got the W. These 2 teams both had the mini bye. It doesn't really count. But yeah, we'll give it to the Packers and the Jags. Going into next week, okay, I'll knock out all the games that to me I feel certain about. So let's go Steelers, Jaguars, Texans. Okay, if I have the Chiefs losing this game, I do not have them losing back-to-back games. And that's really tough for Buffalo because a part of me doesn't want to have Buffalo losing back-to-back games either. 100%. Steichen is the man. Steichen is so good. He's such a good play caller. Like, we actually miss him so much in Philadelphia, man. He was such a good play caller last year. But yeah, back to the predictions. I don't have the Broncos sweeping the Chargers, so I got the Chargers getting 1 win. But I'm gonna have the Broncos getting the 2nd win. 100%. Titans, Dolphins. We're gonna go Titans. I feel like the Colts get that W there. Ravens. This is 6-6 against 5-7. Going the lesser team. And he still scares me. Yeah, I mean, Minshew's always going to be that kind of a player. Whoa, they got a first down? Bro, I swear it was like 2nd and 25. I'm looking up and they have a first down and Pacheco's running into field goal range. Oh my God, Pacheco ran for the first down there. My goodness. Bucks, Falcons. Okay, this is a matchup where let me see how the first matchup happened. Falcons won the first matchup. Say less. Bucks get the second matchup. I got the Bears winning that game. They played Detroit really tough in Detroit. Now Jared Goff has to go play in frigid Chicago outside, and Chicago's kind of starting to get their footing. I got the Bears winning that game. Saints, Panthers. I think the Saints bounce back. Niners, Seahawks, Niners, Eagles, Cowboys. Bro, give me the Eagles. Again, not losing back-to-back games. Giants, Packers. The way the Packers are playing, that's an easy game for the Packers. So now going into week 15, getting a feel for how things are going. Look at how tight this race is for the wild card spots. Quiet, bro. Look at Chicago at 5-8. Like, Had they just won one of the stupid games they lost earlier, if they just won one of them, things could be so different. People though, what I'll say though, if the Chiefs win this game, because for the sake of the prediction, I gave the Packers the W because they're up, right? If the Chiefs win this game, I'm predicting they lose to the Bills the week after. So this actually impacts like it actually impacts the Bills and the Packers more than it does the Chiefs. I have the Chiefs going 1-1 during this game and the next week, regardless. And then yeah, this playoff race here down to 6 and 7. Although the 6-win teams are 2 games out at this point, so like that's not particularly good. Did the Chiefs fumble? It what? They're saying Chiefs ball. Okay. Oh, is it? We have injuries. I'm excited for a future. If anyone is available, I'm going to 12 if everyone stays fit. Yeah, that's the thing. Richardson's health going forward is going to be just a huge thing for this franchise. Chiefs do something for me next game. True. All right, so this week we got Chargers, Raiders. I had the Chargers getting a big win the week before, so the Raiders get this win. Steelers versus Colts. I think Pickett's not playing anymore, so Colts get that win. Bruh, Colts gonna be 9-5. My goodness. Easy win there. Texans, Titans. They haven't man, missing Tank Dell. Missing Tank Dell has to bite them in the ass at some point. You know what? I'm gonna say they split the season series. So we're gonna give the Titans one win here. Ravens, Jags. I got the Ravens winning that. Chiefs here. I wonder who's playing quarterback, but I'm probably going Browns. Yeah, I'm going Browns. The Bears just got their big win a week earlier. Lions get the bounce back win at home. The Bengals got to get a win at some point, but also I had the Vikings losing. I'm going to go Minnesota here. I think, yeah. Browning is bad. Chiefs going for the 2-point conversion, a handoff to Pacheco, who got the touchdown, who was stuffed. Packers stay up 2. In this matchup, both teams lost but it's just tough. Like, the Bills at this point have lost 2 huge games in a row. I got to give them the win, but this means 2 losses in a row for Dallas, which again is also something I don't feel great about. But this means I'm giving Dallas the win the week after, like guaranteed. Is it possible for us to get higher, at least 5th in the rankings? I mean, as of right now, I have you guys 5th in this prediction. Let me see. Let me finish off the rest of the games and then see where you guys land. Oh, Panthers get this win. Panther again, they got to get a win in a scrappy home divisional game. Tampa against Green Bay. That's actually a massive matchup if you look at the playoff spots. Green Bay has won a lot of games. It's got to come to an end at some point. Let me see. At this point, Green Bay is apparently on a 4-game winning streak. Damn, how do I feel about this? Where is the game? The game is in Green Bay. Green Bay in December. Yeah, I'll give it to Green Bay. Saints, Giants. We'll give it to the Saints. Niners, Eagles. Wait, how do I feel about this? Washington coming off the bye against the Rams. Washington's a mess, man. We're gonna give it to the Rams, who stay in the wild card race with this matchup. But yeah, Daniel, as of now, you guys are the 5 seed. You guys are the first wild card. We'll see how that. We'll see what happens for the rest of this prediction. The Colts, like, they actually have such a bunch. They have so many winnable games on the schedule, man. Bengals at Steelers. Who won the first matchup? Am I tripping? Where is it? Oh, so the The Bengals. Oh, the Steelers beat Browning in the first matchup, and this was the Bengals get coming off the bye week. Okay, we'll do it this way. Again, the Steelers perennially disappoint in home matchups. Trubisky might be playing. We'll give Browning a win finally. We give this win to Browning. Bills against Chargers. Chargers with the mini bye. I think the Bills get it done. Browns, Texans. Going Texans. But the Dell injury has to hurt them at some point. But I already gave them a bad loss against Tennessee. Broncos, Chiefs. This is allegedly. You know what? I'm giving that to the Commanders. I'm gonna say the Jets lose because Rodgers is not back, and probably have the Jets losing out. AFC South getting slept on 100%. They actually look good. They actually have a bunch of teams that are playing well. The Titans are like realistically the worst team. And they are not a bad worst team whatsoever. Whatsoever. Okay, AJ Dillon. Okay. Colts, Falcons. Desmond Ritter at home. Let me see the Colts. What the Colts at this point are on a 6-game winning streak. Thing is, I gotta give them an L before the end of the year. They lost. They beat the Texans, so the L will probably be the Texans. Let me see what's been going on with the Falcons. Oh, the Falcons are coming off a loss to the Panthers in this. They're actually coming off a 2-game losing streak. I got to give the Falcons the win at home then. Seahawks, Jacksonville. So Dallas, I have losing 2 games in a row, so they got to get this win here. Niners versus Ravens. Niners against Ravens. What's the Ravens form going into this game? 4-game win streak for them. San Francisco, it's a 6-game win streak for them. It's in San Francisco. Both teams 11-3. Super Bowl matchup from a while back. Jeez, this is a tough game, you know. This is a tough game. I got to give it to the home team. Eagles. Oh, Cardinals, Bears. Quietly, this is randomly a pretty compelling game. I give it to the Bears at home. It'll be tough for the Cardinals to play on the road there. Kyler in that kind of weather. I'm going the Bears. Vikings, Packers, Rams versus Saints. Okay, who's on a win streak here? Saints on a 2-game win streak. Rams on a 4 out of 5 run right there. You know what? We go with the home team. Rams get the win. So now going into the last 2 weeks of the year. Going into the last 2 weeks of the year, we got a pretty tight race for the wild card spot in the NFC. And a tight race for the NFC South. Obviously, the race for the 1 seed is tough, but the Eagles have a pretty soft schedule down the stretch. Boy, the race for the 1 seed is ridiculous. That's crazy. And the wild card spot too. All right. Stretch run here. We're gonna go Browns, Colts, Ravens just took a L, so they take a W, but the Dolphins just took a L too, I think. Damn, this is a big game. Yeah, I'm going with the home team. Dolphins 2 games in a row, so they definitely get the win in week 18 against the Bills. Bills Patriots, the Bills get that one. Houston. Jeez, all the home teams win in the AFC. And that run continues over here. Seattle, Pittsburgh. What happens here? What do I think happens here? I think the Lions defense comes back to bite them. Rams, Niners, Saints, Bucks. Okay, who got the matchup the first time they played? The Bucks got the first matchup. That means, in my opinion, the Saints off the mini bye week get this matchup and effectively knock the Bucks out of contention for the division. Falcons against Bears. Desmond Ridder on the road. Am I about to give the Bears another win? I think I am. Yeah. No, Daniel, the possible outcomes in this conference are actually crazy. Falcons on the road. I think I'm giving the Bears another W. That's crazy. Packers, Vikings. I have the Vikings on a mad little run here. I think I have to give the Vikings a loss in last week. I have the Vikings winning 3 games in a row. The Bengals one is a softie, but these two, their home games, their home games. I got them getting the win and the loss in the last week though. So going into the last week, actually no, they probably get the win because Detroit has nothing to play for. Actually, no, Detroit has something to play for because the Vikings can catch them and the Packers can catch them. So Detroit gets this win. The Eagles with something to play for get this win against the Giants. That sucks that they have to play at MetLife again, but it is what it is. Cowboys with very little to play probably take the L because they're resting players. Panthers versus Bucks. You know what? Bucks have nothing to play for. Panthers get this win. Bears, Packers. Ooh. Damn, I almost slipped out of my seat. But Bears have been getting a lot of wins. Packers probably get that. Yeah. Niners beat the Rams. Seahawks, and then who won I think the Saints lost the first matchup. Yeah, the Falcons won. So then the Saints get this one. And they win the division at 9-8. So the NFC playoffs are set here. Packers versus Lions, Niners versus Vikings, Cowboys versus Saints. Let's go to the AFC here. So again, the Dolphins lost 2 in a row, so they definitely beat the Bills, knocking the Bills out of playoff contention. Jets versus Patriots. You know what? The Patriots always win this, so why not? We're gonna give the Patriots the win in the last week against the Jets team that is going to be playing with a very bad quarterback that day. That's all I know. It will not be Aaron Rodgers. Wait, this is a big 4th and 1. What the hell? Okay, Wicks in motion. Love takes the snap. Oh shit, he's going deep. Oh shit, he found somebody. Oh my god. Romeo Dobbs. Bro, Love is cooking. What the hell? Boy, Love is cooking. What the hell? Ravens don't get swept by the Steelers. Bengals against Brown. The Bengals pack it in, man. Rough season for them. Texans, Colts. What happens here? We give the Texans the win. Jaguars, Titans, Jaguars. Broncos and Raiders. Give it to the Raiders. All right, so You got the Colts in the playoffs as the 7th seed playing Baltimore, a team that they beat. Jeez, in their current condition with Minshew. Then you got Jaguars, Browns. That matchup would suck. And then Miami, Tennessee. That's crazy. That's crazy. Bro, it's very possible, bro. It's very possible. They have the same record. They have the same record. Second and 11. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What a catch by Watson. Yeah, y'all just won. Well, you guys are just one win away from the 5 seed. I think the problem is they have a better quarterback. That's the biggest issue. But I mean, losing Tank Dell really, really hurts. Big touchdown from the Packers there, man. This game was not like in a good place with the touchdown being given up. They did exactly what they needed to do going down the field and scoring. I'll refresh this. Actually, I lied. I'll keep it on the playoff predictor. But yeah, you know what? You know what? We can go back. Actually, I lied. Falcons. I think the Falcons winning their one home game in the last 4 is fair, though. Yeah, no, I'm content with what I have here. Imagine the Packers beat the Lions. Imagine that happens again. They beat the Lions in Detroit. Bro, that'd be so good. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? If this was a little bit later in the life of the channel, I would have been like super chat and we'll make it happen. But unfortunately, I can't do that. But shout out to everybody watching. 9 people watching live. I picked up 2 subscribers during this stream. That's a success. If you appreciate the content, you like what we do here, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. 2 very important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel. But to everybody watching, if you guys have any thoughts or opinions on how I have these games predicted for the rest of the year, feel free to get your thoughts in the chat. Daniel here is trying to compel me to give the Colts another win. I have them at 10 wins, 1 off of his prediction. The Colts would be very close to getting it. I have them here basically finishing the year on a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2. 7 and 2 down the stretch is a very solid mark for the Colts. But yeah, if you guys have any predictions you want to put, or like you guys think is going to happen that I don't have, feel free to put that in the chat. If there's any football you want to talk about today that happened, we can do that too. I started the stream out talking briefly at minimum about every game that happened today. Obviously, some of you guys probably weren't there for that. So yeah, feel free to let me know which games you might want to talk through. But I thought it was a really interesting day of football. And I think next week is going to be even more fascinating. Bro, they just keep showing clips of love with Favre and Rodgers. And I think I just don't think we need I think as a football community, we need to just like make an effort to just let people grow into like who they are. We don't need to just crown people for no reason, and we don't need to build people up just to tear them down. Like, let players grow into who they are. The guy's played some good football for about a month now. He's growing into who he is. Just let it happen. Like, we don't need to just be extra about it. Like, just let the kid live. But yeah, going into next week, right? Patriots Steelers, a terrible, terrible, terrible Thursday night football game. It's probably going to be Trubisky against Zappy. There will be no Thursday night football stream with that matchup. I'll promise you. I can tell you guys that. That's a promise. Uh, Panthers Saints. That's quietly a good game in my opinion. I think the Panthers showed a little bit of fight against the Bucks today. I think the Saints. You never know what's going to happen in divisional games. They lost a tough one against the Lions. That game could be something. Rams, Ravens. Yeah, I think the Ravens just washed them. Colts, Bengals. It's the battle of two backup quarterbacks, but the Colts have the better one. And I think the Bengals are in a worse place as a team in terms of just like what they have going on. I think the Bengals, like, they're a team based on how good they were the last couple of years and how good their quarterback is. The fact that he's not there, I think they're more likely to be a team that kind of like drags their feet through the end of the year. Whereas the Colts, I think the Colts are ready to go. Like, I think they're encouraged by what they've been able to do with Gardner Minshew. I think the team likes him. I think the relationship between the quarterback and the team is a pretty big part of what happens on Sundays. So I think the Colts are in a good spot and they'll probably beat the Bengals. You got Jaguars, Browns. Okay, Richie James. Okay. That guy's running physical. That guy's a small guy. He's not particularly big, but he was running physical there, man. You love to see it. Um, what else we got here? Jaguars Browns. That game doesn't really move me like that. I really don't. I really don't plan on watching that game. I don't know who's gonna play quarterback, but I think the Browns defense will probably make that game ugly, and the Browns offense will make it ugly too. It'll just be an ugly football game. Lions Bears, that's awesome. That is awesome. We're about to see Goff play outdoors in bad weather. We're about to see the Lions defense have to try to stop an offense they had a hard time with. That's an awesome game. Bucks Falcons, bro. The NFC South divisional matchups are just not it. And that is not it. Texans Jets. Texans probably get that done fairly casually. The Jets are in such a bad place at the quarterback position. It'll be a low scoring game, but like I think the Texans will get it in the end. Seahawks Niners. Seahawks Niners. But the Niners are 12-point home favorites. They're actually on such a like they're rolling right now. Home game against a team that they consistently beat. Yeah, they're gonna make easy work of the Seahawks. Then you got Vikings Raiders. The Vikings are 2.5-point road favorites. I don't know. I lied. Justin Jefferson is coming back. I think that's what's happening. Yeah, that should help them. But yeah, the Raiders have looked decent since they fired their coach. But yeah, I won't be watching much of that game. Right, the quarterback matchup is Dobbs against O'Connell. I will not be watching Minnesota LA. And then what else? Oh, Kansas City against Buffalo. So here's the thing, right? Prior to what's happened right now during Sunday Night Football, my whole thing in the last week was I think Buffalo's gonna come out of that bye week and beat Kansas City. That's been what I thought. Because I think Buffalo, actually the last 2 weeks before the bye week, they started to figure some stuff out with their new offensive coordinator. I think Buffalo is going to start playing some good ball. And I think Kansas City is like still in the process. Like they're not as far along in the process of figuring out how to play good ball. So I just thought that, one team needs the game a lot more than the other. And I was, planning to pick Buffalo. However, if Kansas City loses this game to Green Bay, they are not losing back-to-back games. So now Buffalo in a tough spot, primed for 6-7. Again, Buffalo, Kansas City, that will be a huge game. And I say that all to say The cherry on top of next Sunday is the Sunday night football game, Eagles versus Cowboys. Obviously, a huge game. Obviously, massive implications for both teams. And obviously, the spotlight will be on Philadelphia to see how they bounce back after a game like the Niners. We haven't seen this iteration of the Eagles take a loss like they did. Um, you know that they're going to want to bounce back. Again, Hurts has not lost back-to-back regular season games since the 2-5 start um, in Sirianni's rookie year. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but that's a huge matchup. And then the Monday night doubleheader is actually so bad. You got the Titans, Dolphins, then Packers, Giants. The Packers and Dolphins should get both those wins fairly casually. But yeah, next week there's some good football, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think that there will be a good 5 to 6 games that are worth watching and are worth looking forward to. But yeah, Sunday night football, Eagles, Cowboys. You guys are gonna have. I hope you guys come and join me for that because it will be special. It will be special. But yeah, with that being said, the prediction is done. We'll catch the rest of this game. Rashi Rice taking a short pass for some extra yards there. Oh, it's a Wildcat fake to Tony who reverses field and finds 5 yards out of nothing and gets ripped to the ground by Devondre Campbell. Um, but yeah, I'll put the scoreboard up. I think we had our fix with the playoff predictor live stream part or the playoff predictor part of this live stream. Second and 5 from the 22, a handoff to Pacheco up the middle. Pacheco finds about 9 yards, and the Chiefs look to be in the red zone. 1:10 to go in the third. Two possession game. The Chiefs probably have about 3 possessions left for them, so their defense has the room for error for their defense is minimal. They probably only have one more bad possession in them. Dang, Pacheco down to the goal line. They might score before the end of the quarter here. But yeah, they're just it's Pacheco and vibes for this possession. Bro, he got hit at like the 7 too. He just kept going. Bro, 25, Nixon got his helmet popped off too. Pacheco, handoff. This time he finally gets stuffed. All right, this will be the end of the third. So the Chiefs go into the fourth, down 9 points. It's a 2 possession game. Like I said, the Chiefs probably have 3 possessions left in this game. We'll see what they can, what their defense can do. Obviously, Jordan Love's had a good game so far. It looks like the receivers are they're starting to blossom, right? They have a very young skill position group, and it was always going to come with the need for patience and the need for just like letting them grow into who they are. But I think that's finally starting to happen. I definitely think that's finally starting to happen. Oh yeah, we'll go into the fourth quarter. Let's do a dive into the stats real quick. Mahomes is 16 for 18, 172 yards. Pacheco 17 for 108. On the surface, it looks like the Chiefs' offense has been working really well, but ultimately only have 3 scores to show for it. There have not been that many drives in this game. The Chiefs have touched the ball. You know what's crazy? Actually, the Chiefs only had 2 possessions in the first half. They scored on both of them. You know what's crazy? This is the Chiefs' 4th possession of the game. So that's why you look at the stats and they look good, because the Chiefs are actually playing really well offensively. What the Packers have succeeded in doing is just slowing the game down. Both these teams, so how they've done that is they've been able to sustain long drives and killing a lot of the clock. And on the other side of things, when the Chiefs have the ball, they're not letting the Chiefs get any big plays. Now, mind you, like the Chiefs by themselves just don't get big plays, but the Packers have, bro, this is the Chiefs' 4th possession of the game. We're going into the 4th quarter. The Packers are putting the Chiefs in a spot where they're touching the ball once a quarter. You know how ridiculous that is? Like, you know how crazy it is to put a team in that position? The Chiefs have scored the ball every single time they've had it. They've just 2 field goals and a touchdown is what they've been able to scrap together. You look at 13 points through 3 quarters and you say that's a failing offense. Bro, the offense hasn't punted. The Packers, they've executed a phenomenal game plan here. 2nd and goal from the 2. Oh, what a play. Oh, shit. There's a ball got tipped there. It could have been a pick. I feel like I've seen that play before from Andy Reid, aside from a little option to the right. So it looks like Mahomes had actually, that's not an option. That's a design from the beginning, that little dump off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If you've been watching Andy Reid offenses, he's been running that play since time. I remember Donovan McNabb throwing little pitches to Brent Selleck like that for touchdowns. It's happened in Kansas City too, but he did it here to a running back that was motioning in from the other side. That's a really creative play call. It just, the execution obviously wasn't there. Noah Gray touchdown on the next play, 3rd and goal. So the Chiefs now scoring on all 4 of their possessions, but we'll have less than 20 to show for it. But yeah, big up Shakar and big up all the people that are trickling over from Sarcasm City. I know you guys came from it was a Chelsea United Spurs show. So you guys are there talking football. This is a whole different football at Emotion Football. This channel is about American football, the NFL, college football. Not what you were talking about at Sarcasm City, but nonetheless, man, this is a channel where a lot of people from Sarcasm City can be found. You got Peter here all the time, Murtaza, occasionally Eddie, occasionally Surfer. We have an NFL show on Sarcasm City on the Twitch, but this is a channel where we do a little bit more content. So if you appreciate what we have going on, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to just support the Sarcasm City family as a whole, me being, part of the extended family, I haven't been on the channel for a good little minute, but life's been busy. I'll be back though. But yeah, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I know a lot of you guys probably aren't used to this kind of football coverage. If you guys are interested in the sport, this is a good place to start. You guys can come hang out with us during the live stream, ask us any questions you might have about the sport and what's going on. And then of course, if you're like a super big fan, this is definitely the place for you as well. So big up to you guys, man. 47 people watching live right now. A good 40 plus of you guys probably came from the raid, so you guys are very appreciated. Come kick it for the rest of the game, man. If you're not really big into the NFL, but you might want to get into it, Packers Chiefs right now. One of the established teams that's done a lot of winning over the last few years, kind of struggling right now, going up against a really young team that's starting to get into the ascendancy and figure things out. Pretty closely contested game. It would be a great game to watch if you want to get into the sport. But yeah, Packers Chiefs going down to the wire. We're going to start the 4th quarter. I'm gonna say it again because I was just looking at the drives in this game, and the Chiefs just had their fourth drive of the game right now that just finished with a touchdown. So we're about to go into the fourth quarter, right? Let's say the Packers do what they've done for most of this game. Let's say the Packers run off a 6-minute drive and score. Then the Chiefs will get their fifth possession of this game with 8 minutes to go. You know how ridiculous that is? Bro, it's insane what the Packers have been able to do to keep the Chiefs off the field. 4 possessions and 4 scores, by the way. 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. One of the touchdowns, obviously, an unsuccessful 2-point conversion. But, bro, they have 19 points because they've scored on every possession. It's just unfortunate for them that the Packers are doing a great job of playing keep away. I'm assuming the Packers have had a similar amount of possessions themselves. They had 3 in the first half. Okay, yeah. So the Packers have had 4 possessions as well. This is the Packers' 4th possession. Ironically, the Packers actually didn't score on all their possessions. They've had to punt once. But yeah, 4 possessions, 3 Jordan Love passing touchdowns. It's been quite the performance from Green Bay, but specifically from the coaching staff. A brilliant game plan and brilliant execution thus far. Obviously, they still have to play their cards right and manage the end of this game right to get this win. But what the Packers have been able to do thus far has been really impressive. Really impressive. So Butker kicks off. The Packers still have Keyshawn Nixon, right? And they have Rich Bisaccia. Kickoff goes out the back of the end zone, so we won't see a return. But man, I just can't believe it. There have been 8 possessions or 8 drives in this game so far. That's so irregularly low. So irregularly low. And there's been 7 scores on the 8 drives too. All right, Packers drive starts. Jordan Love in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 2 tight ends to the right. It looks like I lied. Wicks is on the right. A sweep to Dylan that goes for like 3 yards. 54 people watching live. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. In Motion Football coming to you guys on a Sunday night. The Sunday night streams are regular. We do the playoff machine. For you guys that weren't here for that, if you want to take a look at what happened, I predicted the rest of the games, and these are the standings that I came up with. I'll make it big for a second for you guys so you guys can see. We do this every time we go live at this point. Whenever we go live, we predict the season and get a provisional playoff picture going. So that happened earlier on in the stream. For you guys that missed it, you guys can go back and watch it. Or if you guys are interested, feel free to let me know in the chat. We can go back and take a look at what I predicted for the rest of the year. But Jordan Love scrambles for the first down on 2nd and 8. The clock continues to run. Big up time to shine. Big up time to shine for sure. Been looking for this channel. Well, you found it now, my guy. You found it now. NFL coverage from your Sarcasm City family. We're out here. Talking about every team. This channel really isn't focused on one team. I'm an Eagles fan, so you're going to get a bit of a slant towards the Eagles, but everything else is pretty even. We'll be getting into some college stuff as the time goes right. The Final Four is announced for college football, so we'll be doing the playoff. We'll probably be doing college football playoff watch-alongs. But yeah, people, tune in. It's getting to the serious part of the offseason, or this season, right? This is when how you're playing is important, right? September, October, it's great to be playing well, but it doesn't matter if now you suck. So if your team hasn't been playing good, they have an opportunity to start playing good at the right time of year. If your team's played like shit, if your team is playing good, it's important for them to sustain here. A drop off at this point of the year is detrimental. Jordan Love, play action, throws it out to the left. Christian Watson pulls it down. The Packers are rolling. The clock continues. We're at 12 and a half minutes now. And that number will only drop lower and lower. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it because I'm actually so impressed by it, and I'm so surprised it happened. The Kansas City Chiefs in the first 48 minutes of this game had 4 drives. They had 4 cracks at scoring. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But I can't believe it. A delay of game here is probably gonna happen. Jordan Love, come on, man. That's a mistake. That's on the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. We get to 1st and 15. This is not the kind of stuff you want to do against the Chiefs. And I think the clock stops too. But I mean, that makes sense. The clock shouldn't run. More time shouldn't get killed after that. And this half, Jordan Love is 7 for 7, 78 yards. That's amazing. Packers playing a very clean game. Send a tight end into orbit motion. Jordan Love takes the one-on-one on the left, but the receiver is not looking for it. So you can tell the blitz kind of blew that play up. The blitz completely blew the play up. Jordan Love knew he had one-on-one on the edge, and he just threw it up. But like, it was not the purpose of the play for the ball to get thrown that early. That was just a reaction to things going wrong. Hey, shit asses. I wonder who he's referring to specifically. But yeah, what's going on, Adam? Oh, yeah. Clearly the receiver wasn't looking for the ball there. Jordan Love rolls right, throws it into the dirt. Wicks can't get back to it. 3rd and 15, bro. That delay of game was costly. Go Packers. Okay. Hey, Adam. You probably new here. I don't recognize your name. I'm super impressed with the Packers game plan. The game plan and their execution up to this point is crazy. Bro, the Chiefs have had 4 drives in this football game. That's ridiculous. They've scored on every single drive and they haven't scored 20 points. That's ridiculous. 3rd and 15. Big down here. The pressure gets home. Jordan Love rolls right, chucks it deep. A jump ball for number 11. He can't come down with it. So, point about the Chiefs defensive coordinator Spagnuolo, right? This guy just like, pressure is his bread and butter. That's just what he does as a coach. I'm gonna have to go get my computer charger, so I might have to pause the stream for a little bit, but pressure is what he does. Once they got in 1st and 15, and he's like, they're probably gonna do like plays down the field that are gonna need time to develop. He brought a bunch of pressure every single time. And you could tell the Packers had nothing that was quick developing, because if it did, Love would have thrown there and they probably would have got a few yards. They were trying to get chunks of yardage because they were in 1st and 15, and Spagnuolo made that very, very difficult. So this is just what Spags does. This is a 2-time Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator. He is very accomplished. He knows when to push what buttons, and that's what happened there. I never root for the Packers, but I think Jordan Love's pretty good. It's hard to argue with what he's done in the last month. Who do you root for? Are you just like a neutral NFL fan? Because honestly, that's the way to go, man. That's the way to go. This shit is too traumatic. This shit is too traumatic if you're a fan of one particular team, man. Being a neutral is the way to go. Yeah, I'm gonna go get my computer charger. I'll be right back. This will take like 40 seconds. Bear with me, people. Ah, you're a Dolphins fan. Okay, interesting. So, what do you think of the Dolphins' schedule down the stretch? Because I think they play the Cowboys, they play the Ravens, and they play the Bills. I actually think they have a very difficult schedule for the one seed, and like the one seed's very important. In Miami's case, I think the one seed, it's more about like it's not even about playing in Miami. It's more for me about not playing in Baltimore, not playing in Kansas City. I think those are situations you definitely want to avoid. What happened to the Eagles today? A bunch of things, I think. So, first of all, bro, I can you can just see you can see how much that game meant to the Niners, and I'm very surprised by how little fight the Eagles had, which I think is a concern, right? For by the way, for you guys who are watching this who don't know, I'm an Eagles fan, right? That's one of the things that happened. One of the other things that happened is that, bro, like we played 2 games worth of football in our last game. The Niners had rest because they played on Thursday. Like, for those of you guys who don't know, Reed Blankenship, our starting safety, played 115 snaps of football against Buffalo. He played 95 defensive snaps and 21 special team snaps. Our defensive tackles in the middle, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, they both average about 30 something snaps a game. They played 70 plus snaps against Buffalo. Um, we just did not have it in the second half. And I said this on this channel last week. For those of you guys who are new to this channel, I sat here last week and I was like, I'm concerned about playing San Francisco, having played so much football, with the Niners being able to rest. That concerned me last week. And then even in the beginning of the game where we looked like the better team in the first quarter, I was like, this is not a good, like, this is something we have to be careful about because I know the Niners are going to have more juice at the end of the game. But bro, it just looked like once the tide turned, like the Eagles kind of just looked at it like, bro, the tide is turning and we don't have our legs, like fuck it. They kind of packed it in a little bit. And I don't appreciate that. I don't think that like you can get done like that in your stadium by a rival, right? So that was really disappointing to see. But I genuinely don't think that this is an indication that San Fran is just head and shoulders above us. I don't think that's the case. I just think today they were. Like today they undoubtedly were. But that's not like the story of these two teams. And I look forward to like a potential rematch because the same way this game meant a lot to them, if we see them again, that game is going to mean a lot to us. And we'll really see what happens then. Those are tough teams. I'm not sure what to think. Yeah, those are going to be really tough games. I think you're probably going to not be able to win all of them. So some losses are coming from Miami, but again, if you can somehow get the one seed, that'd be very helpful. Bro, why did the security get kicked out the game when the linebacker nearly clocked him flush? Bro, I don't understand why he got kicked out the game. Now, I think what they're going to say is that he technically touched the linebacker. Like, in trying to separate the beef, he, like, put his hands on both people, right? And I think they're going to say that as security, he shouldn't be touching players. Or, like, as his staff, he shouldn't be touching the other team's players. That being said, bro, he literally, like, he didn't hit him or shove him or push him. He literally touched him. Like, it's not that deep. The linebacker was dumb as hell. The dumb as hell, like swiping at his face. That's ridiculous. I don't know what he was so pissed about too, because he body slammed Devontae Smith. Of course, people are gonna take issue to that. How are you so upset about people taking issue with you body slamming a receiver for no reason? It's crazy. Yeah, the security didn't do anything really, man. Shout out Flawless as always. Big support to what I'm doing. Always appreciate my bro. And like he said, you lot run up the likes. That's what we need to do, people. Likes and subscriptions, two very important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel. So if you want to appreciate what we're doing here, if you want to show your appreciation, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. The content is free, but I accept payment in the form of likes and subscriptions. Parker says hi. What's going on, Parker? Are you a fan of a particular team? Are you even a fan of the sport? Are you just here to hang out? regardless of why you're here, welcome. This is In Motion Football. We talk about the NFL and college football. We watch the NFL and college football, and that's what we do here. I think that's holding on the Packers. Is that what they just showed? Yeah, 2nd and 16. So the Chiefs finally didn't score on their last drive. 9:55 to go. Jordan Love about to take the snap. 2nd and 16. So this is 2 drives in a row where they've ended up in 2nd and 15 or 2nd and 16. But unlike the last drive, bro, they got a 30-yard play to Dobbs. They got a 30-yard play to Dobbs. My favorite NFL team is the Carolina Panthers. Bro, that's a tough team to be cheering for right now. My sincerest, thoughts, and I hope you're doing well as a Panthers fan. It's going to be a long journey ahead of you, but your owner is hella rich, so at some point it'll probably work out. But in the meantime, it's going to be ugly. 1st and 10 from the 44 of Green Bay. They do a reverse. Christian Watson makes L'Jarius Sneed miss. It gets 14 yards. And the Packers are probably like a few yards away from field goal range. It would probably be like a 60-yard kick from here. But they're getting there. They're getting close. By the way, time to shine. Do you cheer for an NFL team in particular? Maybe this has come up before, but I don't remember. Play action. He's looking deep. Fires it down the field. He placed that ball really well between 2 defenders. Unfortunately, he just couldn't catch the ball. Number 18, whoever that is. Chiefs, but I like Hurts a lot. So that's the thing. A lot of Chiefs fans after that Super Bowl last year were like, yo, you got to really respect what Hurts did. Not the reason we lost that Super Bowl. But yeah, being a Chiefs fan is probably a lot of fun. So that's good for you. Bro, that's that bad drop by number 18. I don't know who the hell that is, but that's a terrible drop. So this guy is a United Raptors and Chiefs fan. So you just love red, don't you? Like, you see a red team and you're just like, that's for me. 1st and 10 for the Packers, now squarely within field goal range. Our offense kind of sucks. Yeah, it does. Bro, this just happens with Andy Reid. Every now and then, Andy Reid, when things are going well, he just thinks to himself, he's like, you know what? I don't actually need receivers. I don't actually need receivers at all. I'm a genius. As long as I have a good quarterback and a good line, I can cope with anybody at receiver. It happened in Philadelphia. It's now happening in Kansas City. It's okay. This bullshit is gonna this will teach him once again that he needs weapons, and he'll bring somebody in, right? Like he had nobody in Philadelphia. Then he got Terrell Owens and went to a Super Bowl, right? Because again, it helps to have elite receivers. Then things didn't work out with Terrell Owens. Then he had nobody for a while again, right? Then he got Deshaun Jackson in Philadelphia and went to another NFC Championship game. Then it didn't work out in Philadelphia. He left, went to Kansas City. He got Tyreek Hill. He goes in and out of having receivers and not having receivers. You guys are just in the low end of the cycle right now, but trust, it'll work out. Oh my God. Number 35 got shook. He got his ankles snatched. Who is that? Heath. I don't even know who that is. Who the hell is number 18 on the Packers? Number 35. Actually, I lied. So, no, it was still a sick move he put on Watson. Watson just dived like a dumbass right there. He wanted no problems. He just wanted to go for the guy's legs and hopefully, just get him down that way. But, bro, he got done dirty there. All right, Packers in the red zone. 6 minutes to go. Well, I lied. 7 minutes to go. You would think here a touchdown probably ends this game, because it would be a 2-score game with At this point, probably about 6 minutes to go. Should have got Hopkins when he was a free agent. This is true. This is true. They're not in the best place in terms of the salary cap, but they should have just paid what they had to pay to get it done. Because the thing is, it's not that you need a bunch of receivers. You just need one. Because you have Kelsey. All you ever really had was Kelsey and Hill, but that was enough for just like kind of anybody else to play with them. You just need one more guy. 2nd and 10 after a failed screen play to the tight end. Love rolls right, rolls left, throws to the feet of Croft. 3rd and 10. Third and 10. Big play here. Three touchdowns when the Packers have been in the red zone. Is that Malik Heath? Bro, I did not know of his existence until about 10 minutes ago, but he was dope on that play. He had a bad drop though. He had a really bad drop earlier on in the drive, but that big play, that move he put on Watson was cold. Love to get Mike Evans next year. I think he's a free agent. Oh shit, yo, if Tampa Bay lets Mike Evans leave, they're so stupid. When you get guys like that, you should not let them leave. But again, if you give Mike Evans to Pat Mahomes, bro, the NFL should not let that happen. Because think about what Mike Evans has been able to do with some of the randomest quarterbacks ever. Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Baker Mayfield. The guy gets 1,000 yards with those guys. Bro, imagine what he would do with Pat Mahomes. Hey from Chiefs Kingdom. What's going on? Austin's gameplay channel. Hey from Emotion Football. Yeah, big game here. Big stop for the Chiefs defense. Mahomes with the ball, needing a touchdown at the end. How many times have we seen this before? We'll see what happens. Glazer tax. Hilarious comment. Hilarious comment. Yeah, if the Glazers let him leave. My goodness. Glazers out from Bucks fans will probably happen. You can't let a fan favorite like that leave. But yeah, shout out to everybody watching this right now. 44 people tuned in live. Appreciate all you guys for supporting everything I do here. Like I said, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Two very important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel. Sunday Night Football stream. This is what we do regularly on this channel. Sunday Night Football has to be really, really bad for me to not do a Sunday night stream. But I like doing Sunday night streams because it's a good time to watch a game, talk about the game, recap what's happened earlier in the day, and even look forward to what's happening either on Monday or Thursday or the week after. So that's what I like to do. Occasionally you'll get a Thursday night stream, occasionally a Monday night stream, sometimes midday Sunday if the Sunday night football game is that bad. But Sunday night football is the fixture on this channel. Make sure you guys stay tuned in. Next week, Cowboys and Eagles, it will be special. I might start doing some midweek streams to just talk about what's going on, maybe do some, I'll figure it out. But yeah, Sunday night football, that's the fixture. Also, there will be college football playoff streams as those games happen. Who's your Super Bowl? I actually got Ravens Eagles. Preseason, I had Chiefs Eagles. I had a rematch. I kind of still like it. Now, I acknowledge that the Ravens are playing better than the Chiefs and probably playing better than anyone in the AFC. Like, the thing is, the form teams are the Ravens and the Niners, but like, I think the form teams tend to not end up in the Super Bowl. So give me Chiefs Eagles. Run it back. Run it back. Yes, 100%. They're making the playoffs. There's a 0% chance they miss the playoffs. They will make the playoffs. They might not be like Austin. The conversation is whether they're the 1 seed or not. That's the conversation. The conversation is not whether they're in the playoffs or not. You are more than good in that regard. 100%. Dolphins Eagles will be hilarious. Dolphins Eagles would be something else. There'd be so many different shades of green there, bro. You'd get a matchup of two quarterbacks that were teammates in college. You will see a bunch of great receivers, a couple Alabama receivers. Dolphins Eagles would be special. Will the Jaguars beat the Bengals tomorrow or not? Yes, I have the Jaguars beating the Bengals. I don't have it being close. I think the Bengals backup quarterback sucks. I think the problem isn't just that the backup quarterback isn't good, but their whole way of playing football was Burrow's going to be under pressure, but he's Burrow, so he's going to make it work, right? That is a terrible play style for a backup to walk into, bro. What the hell is Patrick Mahomes, man? Pocket collapses around him. Literally does not throw the ball properly, but throws it perfectly in terms of placement, right? That ball is not anything close to a spiral. It's wobbling. It does not look like also like he throws it like this, right? Like this is not how anybody's ever taught somebody to throw a football. And then the placement is absolutely perfect. It's right in Rashi Rice's stride. Like he didn't have to run slower or faster or change direction. The ball got right to where he was going to be. Mahomes tries to hit Rashi Rice deep down the left on 2nd and inches. The way that ball placement was, I thought holding, because normally when a receiver is thrown, like the ball is ahead of a receiver like that, they were probably held, or else the quarterback just sucks, right? And that's Pat Mahomes. So I'm like, there's probably some illegal contact or some holding there. My Super Bowl is Chiefs Dolphins because my mom loves the Dolphins and I love the Chiefs. I rate that for you, and I appreciate you trying to put the two teams that your family like loves into the Super Bowl. The problem is that can't be the Super Bowl because they're both AFC teams. That could be your AFC championship though. And if that's the case, I like that for you. I hope to see Chiefs Dolphins as well. I want to see Chiefs Dolphins like not in Germany. That's what I want. He's a joke. He's actually like, you know what it is too, is like for a player to have so much flair and effectiveness and clutch, like, and the clutch gene and intelligence. Oh shit, as I say that, he just threw a pick. Oh shit. But okay, nonetheless, that pick doesn't change what I'm saying. For a player to have all those things is ridiculous. You actually jinxed him. It's so funny. But I jinxed him too, right? Just as I'm talking about him. But like, you know what it is? So, time to shine. I don't know if you're familiar with a guy, Pythagoras and Boots. He's a Twitter account. He's a football scout, like a European football scout, right? But he's starting to watch American football, and he watched Pat Mahomes, and he's like, bro, this is like if Neymar had like work ethic and stayed healthy, you know, like it's that level of the guy's a technician and has flair, is effective and like fun to watch. Like, and that's just really what he is, man. He's such a special combination of traits. That's my dream Super Bowl. If any team can face any team, okay, I respect it. That makes sense. It's your dream. You know, you could probably do it in Madden. You could load up the Super Bowl format and run that matchup in Madden and make it happen for you. But yeah, Austin's gameplay channel. I mean, shit, if anybody's in here and likes watching gameplay, check out Austin's gameplay channel, man. Maybe he's out there like really putting in work. Let me see. Can I click his profile and go to his channel? I can't. Okay, let me look him up. Austin's gameplay channel. Oh, you haven't posted in a while. I lied. You streamed a day ago. Hey man, 28 subscribers. Go, you guys go support Austin's gameplay channel. Why not? But yeah. End of the game, people. Mahomes just threw a pick to Keyshawn Nixon. Hey, big up, Joel. We're licking our wounds today, man. We're licking our wounds. We will be back, though. We will be back. Big up, Joel. We will have a much more fun time next week, I think. But this week sucks ass. It just is what it is. I'm curious as to what your thoughts are as a whole. Um, but I feel like I can already figure it out. The last Madden I got was Mahomes and Tom Brady as the cover. Oh, I get it. I get it. It's been a minute then. It's been a minute. What do you stream? Like Fortnite? I stopped watching midway through the third. But I watched the whole game because I'm a sicko. I was like, yo, I'm going to let this all marinate. I'm going to let the feelings marinate. I'm actually going to experience everything I feel right now and then just let it go. So I watched the whole game. Hand off to AJ Dillon. Hand off up the middle. Scratches and claws for the first down. About 6 yards on the play. Chiefs have all 3 timeouts in the 2-minute warning. But the Packers can probably ice the game on this drive if they make it happen. So the answer to this, in my opinion, is no, because they won't have enough wins when he's ready to come back. But I do think that he would do it. The guy started practicing. So I don't know if you guys know exactly the background behind what happened, but basically he decided to take the most medically advanced procedure it's not far enough ahead to be the norm, but this is like the most ambitious surgery, the most like scientifically forward surgery. And he decided, he's like, you know what, I'm 40, I don't have that much time left, and I'm basically at the end of my career anyway, so I can take some risks. He said, screw it, I want to take the most, again, ambitious surgery and try to see if I can make it back this year. And ironically, he might do it, but his team will be like 4-10 at the time, so there's no point. So I actually don't think he'll be ready, or like I actually don't think he'll touch the field. But I think there'll come a point where like he's healthy enough to play. Yes, he will 100% play next year, 1,000,000%. Damn, you know what's crazy? I totally forgot about that. And I still think I don't remember it. I actually, oddly enough, I remember of a game where we got smoked against the Seahawks when I was like 10. I don't know if you remember, but the Eagles were wearing their black jerseys, and the Seahawks just showed up and smoked us like 40-0, or at least that's what it felt like. But you know what it is, right? I think the Niners smoked us towards the end of the game when I feel like we just like didn't have the legs. Like basically, I think they smoked us in garbage time, because it was a 1-score game towards the like middle to end of the third. But bro, we just did not have the legs. We played 2 games worth of football against Buffalo. Like people, I talked about that on this channel last week. Reed Blankenship played 116 snaps of football last week against Buffalo. 95 defensive snaps and 21 on special teams, right? He played, what was it? He like Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, they play roughly 30 to 40 snaps a game. They played 70 something against Buffalo. Like the defense specifically, they just did not have the legs come the middle of the third onwards. It was like that's when it got ugly, which sucks and it's frustrating, but like it really got ugly once the game like in sorry, better way to say this. In garbage time, it got ugly, right? It wasn't like a blowout from the beginning. It was a competitive game that just fell apart in the end. So like I'm not taking it as hard as a lot of other people. Yes, the Debo touchdown. But that's the thing. Debo got the two big plays at the end when our defense just was spent. And I think this is a concerning thing, is just like how much our linebackers are holding our defensive front behind. Our linebackers should be made like their job should be so easy. And in a lot of ways it is. But they're just so shit. Especially because Zach Cunningham is hurt. Zach Cunningham was our best linebacker this year. We've really missed him these last two games, like since he got hurt in the last game and then the whole of this game. It really sucks to not have him, but it sucks particularly. Whoa, that doesn't look good for Christian Watson. That looks really bad. The way he just dropped with the hamstring injury, that looks really bad. But yeah, like Christian Ellis is a flash player. Like he'll make a pretty solid play here and there that flashes, but outside of that, like the problem is it's not like he doesn't go from flash plays to okay plays. He goes from flash plays to just really really bad plays. That guy's alternative to making plays is just playing like shit. Nick Morrow's cool, but he's just cool. Like that's not good enough. But we need Shaq Leonard in the worst way. We need Shaq Leonard so badly, man. I think my like hope for everything is that I hope this like gets the coaching staff to wake up and gets the GM to wake up. What I mean by that is I hope it gets the GM to wake up, as in he gets Shaq Leonard. When I say I hope it makes the coaching staff wake up, we need to fundamentally change the way we play on both sides of the ball. I think the fact that we don't really run the ball like that, specifically running Jalen Hurts, is a big mistake. Because last year, a part of what we were was a dominant running team. We could run the ball with Miles Sanders. We could run the ball with Jalen Hurts. But I don't think Miles Sanders is anything special. I think we could run the ball with Miles Sanders because we could run the ball with Jalen Hurts. That pressures the defense differently. It changes the way they defend running plays. It gets the running back going. And then from that point, we just have a very good rushing attack, which changes how the defenses defend us as a whole. And it opens up certain things. Bro, this year we've been a passing football team. And I understand why, and I understand the philosophy, but it's not working well enough to stick with it for this long. It would be a mistake to not look at what we've seen thus far and say that, you know what, we shouldn't make a change. I think the logical conclusion to watching what's happened so far on a football field is to want to play differently. We have a better running back than Miles Sanders. He should be getting the rock. And I think this is where like it gets to the bigger issue, is that I think they don't want to run Jalen Hurts until the playoffs because they're worried about injuries. And I don't think they want to run DeAndre Swift 25 times a game until the playoffs because of injuries. I think the caution with those two players is hurting us in the short term. Now, maybe come playoff time, they just say, okay, you know what? It's time to throw caution to the wind. We have nothing else to like really, really care about in the long term. We're going to run Hurts. We're going to run Swift as much as we need to. And things are going to work amazingly from that point onwards. And I'm just going to, I'm going to be happy and there's going to be nothing wrong, right? But I'm not going to take that for granted. I think there's a real possibility that this just might be how the coaching staff wants to play. And if that's the case, we're not winning a Super Bowl. And this just won't be good. Bro, we have to be a dominant rushing team. That is a part of our identity. That is a part of what made us good last year. We can always fall back on the big plays we're able to make with our receivers, but we're not playing football the right way if we're not running the ball. Especially with the defense we have this year, we need to keep the defense off the field. We need to be running the ball. I don't want to get in a shootout with anybody with this defense. So we need to get to running the ball. That's my change offensively, right? My change defensively is we need to stop playing such soft zones. And I'm very aware of the fact that that's not going to happen. I am like, this is a philosophical thing that's been with Sirianni since the very beginning. He's wanted a defensive coordinator that plays a particular brand of football. And the brand of football is take away big plays. limit a team's ability to make big plays down the field. Let people get 5-6 yards, right? Make them have to sustain long drives and hope that your defense can just make a play in the midst of that, right? So make the other team go 12, 11 plays, 80 yards, take time. All you need to do is make one interception, one sack, right? They have to get one holding penalty and the drive just falls apart. The problem is that that's a sensible way of going about things. It's worked for us. It works for a lot of teams. But the problem is we have such a good defensive line. Teams have every team plays the same against us because we dictate how they should play against us. If they sit with if the quarterback sits in the pocket with the ball for too long, bro, most offensive lines are getting cooked by our defensive line. They know they can't play that way against us. So they set up a quick passing game, right? And that quick passing game is almost facilitated by the fact that we are so far away from the line of scrimmage trying to stop a big play. And like every team's game plan in the short passing game is effective against us because they know what they have to do. It's clear. You're not going to prepare a whole week for a bunch of different things. Teams know exactly what they have to do against us. It's really simple. It's really straightforward. And again, not everybody sees the best results, but everybody has the same idea. I saw so many plays today after the first two drives for the Niners because the Niners' first two drives, they didn't have that many quick hitting plays. Purdy took his time back there, and their offensive line struggled, but they came back after that with a bunch of quick plays. And we're making that possible because our defensive backs are about 8 yards off the line of scrimmage, just waiting for you to take the 5 yards that they're giving you. It's frustrating to watch. It'll never change because it's the coach's philosophy. But bro, when you have this kind of defensive line, you press the other team's receivers. You put the other team in a position where you might risk open go routes being there down the field. But the whole idea is our pass rush is going to get to the quarterback before that develops. Put your DBs in a situation where focus on the first 10 yards, guard the first 10 yards, and just bank on your pass rush getting home before the receiver gets 15, 20 yards down the field. That's what I think the smart thing to do is with our defensive line. But no, we'll sit 8 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, give a team 5 yards, and they're going to keep doing it over and over and over again. And it's like you're just handing teams the opportunity to keep your defense on the field and wear them down. And that's what happens. It's really rough to watch sometimes. I feel like they don't want Hurts to get injured again. That's why he toned down the scrambles and design runs. 100%, but bro, it's costing us in the short, right now, it's costing us. And I pray that this is all going to change come playoff time because that's the plan. But I'm a little bit fearful for the approach. I don't like what I've seen so far. Look how good we looked against Buffalo in the second half with Hurts running. I just want to see us I'll put it this way, right? I don't actually feel that great about a team showing up to the playoffs and saying, you know what, let's start playing different now. I think you should go into the playoffs with a certain amount of momentum, doing what you're doing, but also give yourself the time to troubleshoot what you're doing. Do your strategies, play the way you play, and then see what goes wrong and kind of sort that out. Then go into the playoffs with that understanding. Don't go into the playoffs just trying shit for the first time. I don't love it, but we'll see what happens. Bro, Gainwell's been really frustrating, but Swift and Hurts obviously very solid. We give up so many first downs. Bro, it's just too easy against us. It's too easy. Mahomes getting the ball. Yep. No timeouts, 109 to go. Hello, the Cardinals won today. Big win. Big win for the Cardinals. Pretty decisive win. I don't know if you watched it, but the game took 6 hours because the rain delays. But yeah, I was talking about the Cardinals earlier. If you look at their offense, they're missing like one receiver and one running back. It's like they have everything else though. Like if you drop a number one receiver in the receiving core, they have the two and the three. If you drop a like really good running back into the running back room, they have like the complements to a good running back in Connor and even like Michael Carter slash Demarcado or whatever his name is. Like they have the complements to a really good running back and the complements to a really good receiver. They just have to get those two guys, but they're two guys away from actually having a very complete like skill set, skill position situation. Obviously, Kyler can play. The offensive line, they drafted a young tackle. They have another young, like, not that far off from being a very good team. Yeah, I know you have James Conner. I actually have James Conner on a fantasy team, and James Conner is good. Yo, they got offside on a kickoff. That's rough. James Conner is good. It's just like the thing with James Conner is at his age, I just don't know how much longer he'll be good. So I'm just assuming with the fact that they're a young team that's gonna uh, probably be built on the foundations of some young talent. That like he's not the running back of that. He's the running back, like a stopgap running back right now to get to whoever that guy is. We decided to have a stinker on DJX's retirement. 100%, bro. It's frustrating. He deserved better. He deserved a lot better. Plus, his injuries are getting to him. That's just how the running back position is, man. The running back position is a young man's game. Is very much a young man's game. 2nd and 10 for Mahomes, needs to go 70 yards down the field in 105 with no timeouts and a 2-point conversion. With the way the Chiefs' offense is, this looks very unlikely, but we'll see what we can get from Mahomes' magic. Oh, shit. And Mahomes' magic begins with a 10-yard scramble where he gets smacked at the end. And he looked dizzy for a second, but then he figured himself out. Nah, it's good, bro. You don't have to say sorry. It happens. It happens. It's fine. Like, I believe we'll bounce back. Bad set of circumstances came together. Niners got their little Super Bowl. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll see them in January. Chiefs voodoo magic will be activated. Yeah, what it like that's Simone Biles' boyfriend too. You know, you can't be doing this, man. Can't be doing this in prime time in front of your girl. Yeah, man, you just gotta like you can't hit Mahomes like that at the sideline. You have to know better at this point. Like I understand you have to get him out of bounds. There's other ways to do it though. And the Chiefs are already 45 yards away from the end zone. Check down to Rashee Rice, who gets 10 yards. And that's not a fumble, I don't think. But if it is, that's hilarious. Packers run it back. They will run this back into the end zone if this is a fumble, but I thought he was down. Niners look good today. Yep. After the first quarter, they looked really dominant. They played really well, both phases of the game. And yeah, they really, like, again, they showed up. Like, today was their Super Bowl. They obviously really hate what happened at the end of last year. Oh, he's not down. I lied. He's down. He's down. That's not a fumble. But yeah, it's cool. We will be back. We will be back. The Eagles had no legs in the second half. They had no legs. 100%. 100%. Like, you gotta understand, like, people love the Niners. People love the Niners. That's a huge fan base. So they will be getting a lot of positive TV coverage. But again, it happens like that. Yeah, Jared, like, you know what it is? Like, the best thing to have after a game like that is an opportunity to bounce back from it, right? Because, like, let's say we played, like, the Giants next week. That's not really an opportunity to bounce back. Beating the Giants does not make up for losing to the Niners the way we did. But beating the Cowboys, that might suffice, right? Like that might be um an appropriate response. If you asked me before, if you asked me before this week what I thought would happen the next 2 weeks, I was pretty certain we were going to split the two games. But I kind of thought that the Cowboys would be the game we lose and the Niners is the game we win. I'm hoping things go the opposite now. But like I said, I don't really think we're going to lose two games in a row. We haven't lost two games in a row since basically the beginning of Sirianni's tenure as a coach. Hurts literally lost two games last year, the Washington game and the Super Bowl. The guys lost two games this year, the Jets game and this. And then basically since Syria, at the point where the Eagles were 2-5 in his rookie year, Sirianni gave up the play calling. And since then, at that point, I think Hurts was 6-2 as well. Yeah, so Hurts was 2-5. They finished 9-8. I think Minshew got a win and a loss. No, I lied. Hurts was like 7-3. But yeah, I don't think there was back-to-back losses again after the 2-5 point either. Yo, Keyshawn Nixon, man, what are you doing? Bro, if they reverse this and give them 15 yards, that's such a huge swing. That's crazy. They're the Cowboys of the West Coast. Yeah, they haven't won shit in a while either, man. And they're not going to win this year, I don't think, still. But if they give the Chiefs the ball and 15 yards, yeah, I think the Cowboys won like 14 in a row in the Cowboys Stadium. And obviously they play Philadelphia really, really tough. Wait, the penalty is on Pacheco. That's huge. Yeah, no, but like I said, the Cowboys game will be tough. But I believe, like I said, we're not. I just don't think we're losing two games in a row. Wait, did Pacheco get kicked out the game? Yeah, Pacheco got kicked out the game. Like the first game you guys played. Yeah. The Cowboys play. So I think Dak was like 7-1. He's 7-2 now after the last game, but he was on a 7 out of 8 game win streak against the Eagles. Like next week will not be easy by any means. At all. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, damn. But yeah, it won't be easy. I just think they'll win. Man, Pacheco, was it worth it? Was it worth getting kicked out the game, man? Yo, 37 got lucky there. I only think 37 got really, really lucky there. So, bro, that's part of the reason I feel good about the Eagles winning next week is that the whole world is going to be picking the Cowboys. The Cowboys typically don't succeed in that circumstance. When they have a big game that everybody thinks they're going to win, that is when they lose. And that's why I feel not too bad. That's a foul. Yep. No, that's he's very lucky that they didn't call that. Check down to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They will have to hurry up and call a play here. Big up Leon. Wow, the Chiefs lost and the Swift was there. The Swift is funny. But yeah, indeed, the Swift was there. MVS gets the catch and gets out of bounds. Was he going backwards? Well, they ruled that he was not going backwards. That's a tricky one there. I think he may have been going backwards. But yeah, big up Leon, bro. Hey, another day, another dollar. Patriots inching closer to a franchise quarterback. Panthers get the Patriots are losing out. The Panthers get 2 wins and they get Caleb. With this new coach and a bunch of divisional games against shitty opponents, hey, Bryce Young, can you do something for me? Can you put Caleb on the AFC? That's a pick. Oh, 26 just can't come down with the catch there. Dangerous throw by Mahomes, though. 14 seconds to go. 2nd and 10. I think the Chiefs will probably just take 3 end zone shots from here. It's probably what will happen. Second and 10, 14 seconds to go. Like, look at what the Niners did to the Cowboys. Yeah, that was one of those games where it was a big game that people were looking forward to, and opportunity for the Cowboys, and they showed up and did nothing. Like, you know what it is? I would be worried about the Eagles game against the Cowboys if the world thought that the Eagles were going to win. Because if anything, that's when the Cowboys kind of show up sometimes. But nah, the world thinks the Cowboys are going to win. That makes me feel okay. That makes me feel okay for sure. They keep showing the pass interference on Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Bro, that guy 37 on the Packers, man, he's a criminal. He got away with that one. But before we finish up, people, 14 seconds. There's 43 people watching live, man. Shout out to you guys. I got 6 subscribers during this stream. That's probably one of my best streams in terms of like growth of the channel. So big shout out to you guys that wanted to support today. Again, likes and subscriptions, 2 very important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel. So if you appreciate what I'm doing and want to help me get bigger, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. 2nd and 10 is a throwaway effectively. 3rd and 10 with 8 seconds to go. Like I said, probably going to see just end zone shots from this point onwards. Because the thing is like, let's say the Chiefs get like 15 yards here, right? It's not easy to get to the end zone from like 8 yards out when you don't really have that much space to operate with. Low key, the space that you have here, it kind of helps a little bit that the Packers have to come down a little bit to protect certain things. What the hell was that? What the hell was this 3rd down play? I can't believe the Chiefs lost the Packers. Me neither. I knew it was possible. I did not think it would happen like this. I did not think it would happen like this. 4th and 10, 5 seconds to go from the 33. This will be the end of the game. The Packers send 3 pass rushers. Mahomes does a 360 because he's extra, chucks it to the end zone. It falls incomplete. Part of me was hoping we would get a pass interference for the chaos, but it does not happen. The Packers get the win. 27-19. Chiefs go to 8-4. Oh my God. Buffalo. You poor cursed people, man. They get to play the Chiefs next week off a loss. And like I said, people, I had Buffalo winning next week before this. I thought the Chiefs would get to 9-3 here, and then I had Buffalo winning next week. But nah, man, Buffalo's not winning anymore. 6-7 for Buffalo, man. That's tough. That's tough. What the hell was Kelsey doing on this Hail Mary? Like what? Like he does not look like he knew what was going on there. But we've reached the end of the game, people. I'm gonna check out of what we're doing here. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to talk about. We'll be back next Sunday night. Eagles Cowboys. Definitely tune in for that. It will be a special day. I might have a midweek stream. I will not have a Thursday night football stream because who wants to watch Patriots and Steelers? But I may have a midweek stream to just talk about football as a whole. So definitely tune in. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you guys don't miss streams. Like the video. It helps with growth. And on that note, I will see you guys later. You guys keep your eyes peeled to the channel. More content coming. But not right now because I got to go. See you guys. Peace.